Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. The night was unusually quiet as I lay next to Alex, her soft breathing the only sound permeating the still air. My phone vibrated silently on the nightstand, its screen lighting up with an incoming message that cut through the silence like a knife. I reached for it, expecting nothing more than a late work email or a reminder. Instead, what I saw bolted me upright. Miss you, my love. I want to repeat our hot night. My heart pounded against my chest, a mixture of confusion and a creeping dread settling over me. Alex was right beside me, lost in dreams, or so I thought. The message was clearly not meant for me. A cold sweat broke out across my forehead as I stared at the screen, the words burning into my memory. Who is this? I typed back, my fingers trembling. No reply came. I turned to look at Alex, her peaceful face a stark contrast to the storm of emotions raging inside me. The idea that she could deceive me seemed impossible, yet here was the evidence glowing coldly in my hand. After several agonizing minutes, I nudged her awake. Alex, did you send this? I showed her the phone, watching her eyes widen in horror and confusion. Oh God, I must have sent it to you by mistake, she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. Mistake? What does that mean, Alex? My voice was harsh, more than I intended. She sat up, clutching the sheet to her chest as if shielding herself from the impending storm. It's complicated. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. Find out what exactly? That you're cheating on me? The words were bitter, tasting of betrayal. Alex's eyes filled with tears, her usual composure crumbling. Yes, I've been seeing someone. Someone named Alex too. I'm so sorry. It was a stupid mistake. The revelation hit me like a physical blow. Not only had she betrayed me, but with someone who shared my name. It felt like a twisted joke. I stood up, pacing back and forth as I tried to process the information. Anger boiled inside me, each thought more vengeful than the last. How long, Alex? How long have you been lying to me? Just a few months. I was going to end it. I never wanted to hurt you, she pleaded, reaching out to me. I pulled away, her touch suddenly alien to me. You've done more than hurt me. You've made a fool of me. As I looked at her, the years of trust built between us shattered into pieces. In a fit of rage, I decided no more. If she had chosen to bring this chaos into our life, I would end it on my terms. I want a divorce, I said coldly, the words cutting through the tension like a blade. Alex sobbed, but I felt detached, already plotting my next moves. I would make sure she regretted her betrayal. This was not just the end of our marriage, it was the beginning of her undoing. As I left the room, the weight of the decision bore down on me, but a fierce determination steeled my resolve. Revenge would be mine, and it would be merciless. The night had started with a message meant for another, but it would end with a plan to dismantle the life Alex thought she knew. The next morning dawned bleak and unwelcoming, mirroring the turmoil inside me. I had barely slept, my mind overrun with scenes of betrayal and the echo of Alex's confessions. Today, I was not just a betrayed husband, I was a man on a mission. I started by securing an appointment with the best divorce lawyer in town, someone known for their ruthless efficiency in unraveling marital ties. As I sat in the plush office, explaining the situation, the lawyer, Mr. Green, nodded understandingly, his eyes sharp with professional detachment. We can file for divorce on grounds of infidelity. Given the circumstances, it's straightforward, Mr. Green advised, his voice smooth and confident. Gathering proof will strengthen your case for any settlements and custody arrangements if needed. I nodded. I want everything exposed. She shouldn't just walk away from this. Understood, he replied, typing rapidly on his laptop. If you could get any evidence of her affairs, messages, emails, anything tangible, it would help immensely. Armed with a plan, I left his office feeling a semblance of control returning. The next step was clear: I needed proof. I remembered the nights Alex claimed to work late, her guarded phone calls, her sudden weekend trips. It all made sense now. I returned home to find Alex sitting in the living room, her eyes red from crying. The sight almost softened me, but the memory of her deceit steeled my resolve. "We need to talk," I said, my voice steady despite the chaos inside. Alex looked up, fear and resignation in her eyes. "I know this can't be fixed. I'll cooperate with whatever you want for the divorce." Her compliance was unexpected, but I wasn't about to let my guard down. "I need your phone and laptop," I stated, extending my hand. "I need proof of your affair for the divorce proceedings." Reluctantly, she handed them over, and I began sifting through messages and emails, my heart sinking with each damning word I read. The evidence was overwhelming, conversations spanning months, filled with plans and promises made to someone else who shared my name. As I documented everything, another plan took shape. If Alex's lover was using my name to conduct this affair, I would use that to my advantage. I found his number and, without a second thought, dialed. "Hello, Alex," I began when the line connected, my voice calm but cold. There was a pause. "Yes. Who is this?" "You don't know me, but we have someone in common. My wife, Alex." The line went silent for a moment. "I think you have the wrong person." "I don't. I have all the messages." "It's over, but I thought you should know what's coming next." Fear tinged his voice. "What do you mean?" "Enjoy the fallout," I replied and hung up, a bitter satisfaction settling in. After ensuring I had all the evidence securely backed up, I confronted Alex one last time. "I've got what I need. Don't try to contact me unless it's through our lawyers." She nodded, tears streaming down her face, but I felt nothing. The love I once had was gone, replaced by a void. As I left the house, the seeds of my revenge firmly planted, I knew this was just the beginning. Alex and her lover would soon learn the full extent of my wrath. The storm was just gathering, and I was ready to unleash it. As the wheels of justice began to turn, I took matters into my own hands to ensure Alex felt the weight of her betrayal. It wasn't enough for the law to handle it, I wanted her to face consequences in every aspect of her life. First, I called her office under the pretense of needing to speak to her for an urgent family matter. Her secretary, who recognized my voice, put me through immediately. "Alex, I hope you're sitting down because you're about to lose more than just a husband," I said without preamble. There was a stunned silence on the other line. "What have you done?" she asked, her voice a mixture of fear and anger. "I haven't done anything that you didn't invite into our lives," I retorted. "I just thought your boss might like to know who he's really employing. You know, about your little escapades that seem to happen even during office hours." "You wouldn't dare," she hissed, the facade of her composed self cracking. "I already have." "Have a good day at work," I said and hung up, a grim satisfaction settling over me as I imagined the fallout that awaited her. Next, I turned my attention to the more personal aspects of her life. Knowing she was an avid member of several online lifestyle groups, I crafted an anonymous post detailing her affair, ensuring to include enough specific details to make the story believable without revealing my identity. The digital world loved a scandal, and I watched as her social life began to unravel through comments and shares that spread like wildfire. With professional and social retribution set in motion, I moved to the next phase of my plan. I reached out to mutual friends, slowly weaving the narrative of Alex's betrayal into conversations. I painted myself as the aggrieved party, the loyal husband blindsided by an unfaithful wife. Sympathy was a powerful ally, and I used it to isolate her from our shared connections. Days turned into weeks, and the effects of my actions became palpable. Alex, once vibrant and outgoing, was now a shadow of her former self, shunned by friends and struggling professionally. It was during this time that I received a call from Mr. Green, my lawyer. The divorce proceedings are moving forward. Alex's lawyer reached out to expedite the process. She's willing to forego any claims to assets and just wants it to be over. Good, I replied, a cold edge to my voice. Make sure she gets nothing more than what is legally minimum. She's lucky I don't press for more. I'll take care of it, Mr. Green assured me. I'll keep you updated on any further developments. As I hung up, I felt a momentary pang of something akin to remorse, quickly squashed by recalling the pain of her betrayal. This was justice, I reminded myself. She had made her bed, and now she was lying in it, alone and destitute. With each step of my plan that unfolded, I watched, detached yet driven by a deep-seated need for retribution. This was more than revenge, it was a statement. No one would betray me and walk away unscathed. As I laid down that night, the first true sleep in weeks claimed me, the darkness around echoing the darkness within. The storm of retribution was far from over, but for now, I was content with the chaos that raged. As autumn turned the leaves to shades of fire and gold, the chill in the air matched the frost in my heart. The divorce had been finalized with clinical efficiency, and Alex was now effectively cut off from both the life and the comforts she had once shared with me. Yet, the culmination of my revenge required a final, dramatic closure. My plan had one last act, one that would ensure our paths would never cross again. I staged an accidental encounter at the park where Alex often went to find solace from her isolation. I had watched from a distance as her figure, once vibrant and full of life, had become a mere shadow, slow and heavy with defeat. As she sat on a bench, staring blankly at the falling leaves, I approached her, my footsteps quiet on the soft earth. "Alex," I called out, my voice deliberately gentle. She looked up, startled, her eyes widening in fear then hardening when she recognized me. "What are you doing here?" "I wanted to see you, one last time," I said, my tone laced with a bitterness I no longer bothered to hide. "Why? Haven't you done enough?" she asked, her voice trembling. I sat beside her, keeping a careful distance. "I've come to offer you a closure, or a confession if you will." Alex eyed me warily, but her curiosity got the better of her. "What confession?" "All this while, you thought you were deceiving me with another man, another Alex," I began, watching her face closely. "But did you ever stop to think who he really was?" Confusion flickered across her face. "What are you saying?" "There was no other Alex," I said, the words sharp and clear. "It was me all along. Every message, every secret meeting, I staged them all. I knew about your dissatisfaction, your wandering eye. I baited you into this affair to see how far you'd stray." Alex's face went pale, her eyes widening in shock. "No, that can't be. You're lying." "I wish I were," I continued, my voice cold and detached. "Every message you cherished, every moment you thought you stole with him, it was me. Watching, judging, waiting for you to incriminate yourself." She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "Why? Why would you do something so cruel? To teach you the ultimate lesson about betrayal. You betrayed our marriage, Alex, and I wanted you to understand the depth of pain that comes with such treachery." Alex was sobbing now, her body racked with grief and the acute sting of utter betrayal. "You're monstrous," she whispered through her tears. "Yes, perhaps I am," I conceded with a hollow laugh. "But I am thorough. Your lover, your confidant, it was all a mirage. And now, you lose everything, as I once thought I had lost you." Standing up, I looked down at the broken figure of the woman who had once been my life. "Goodbye, Alex. I hope the memory of our love haunts you forever." As I walked away, leaving her shattered on the bench, a cold satisfaction settled over me. The revenge was complete, the deception revealed, and the betrayal avenged. Our hatred of betrayal had severed any ties that remained, parting us forever in a crescendo of ruin and revelation. I didn't look back, not once. The path ahead was solitary and stark, but it was one I had chosen. In the end, the cost of betrayal was laid bare, paid in full by the loss of everything we once held dear.